Okay, here we are at the end of a rather unique trading day here, Thursday, September 30th, last day of the month, last day of the quarter, and in our case, next to last day of the 2010 Jelly training program. And it was a very unique trading day in a number of aspects, and I want to pass on some thoughts and some discussion that we had in the tank. And I'm always looking for ways to share what we do in the formal education events with people that are viewing the blog. Excuse me. And I recognize that what we tried to do, basically, what I've tried to do from an educational perspective is provide multiple options. And I'm well aware that a lot of people can't participate in the live effort. It's an incredible time commitment. It's certainly a modest financial commitment as much as we kept the costs down for the time involved. But recognizing that a lot of people are kind of trying to assimilate knowledge based on my post and based on observations from these efforts and that kind of thing. So I try to do that to the extent that it can help. And there's several things that went on today I thought it would be helpful to talk through. One of which certainly was a rather unique morning. In terms of, I think the whole world came in today looking for breakout of the tightening range, the coiling range that we've seen over the past several days. And certainly the day started out that way in terms of reaction to the employment data and then a subsequent reaction to the PMI. By the way, just a quick note on PMI. Most traders know this, but if you don't, there are actually two releases. There's a professional release to the subscribers of the Kingsbury service that comes out about 9:42. And then 9:45 the retail public gets it, and that's why you see some spiking a little earlier than 9:45. It should be fairly obvious. Most traders should know that, but if you don't, that's what's going on. And many professional traders will fade the retail move. So you have the pop on the pros, on the better than expected numbers, and then you get the retail pop, which is shortable, and then comes in, that kind of thing. So, but having said that, anyway, very unique in terms of the whole world likely expecting the breakout to hold after all was said and done and after the dust settled. And we were certainly long biased on the data news at 8:30, and then long biased again once the PMI data hit, and we're constantly looking for wholesale entries and opportunities as the market started coming in. So we trusted some supports and trusted them so long as they held, which looked good for a while, and then when they gave out, the exercise basically became an exercise in mental dexterity in terms of realizing that the premise had been there, it had paid handsomely, 2-3 times before late afternoon or late morning, and then once late morning hit and they started giving way, there was no reason to be in those trades. And what I did certainly was sit through the transition, got out of the long, sat through the transitions on the way down, reverse short for one retracement short, and then took the noon push long fairly hard, which is one of our favorite setups. So certainly a day that required extreme mental flexibility and dexterity, and by always asking ourselves the question, who's caught, who's stuck, who's on the wrong side, certainly is always helpful, and was very, very helpful today. And it was one of the few days, maybe even the first day since we've started this 1 month effort, that we've had the bias go bust on us midway through the morning. And 1 out of 18 is not bad, but you cannot get stubborn. You just have to get out of dodge when the reason that you're in the trade is no longer valid. Then there's no reason to be in that trade. And obviously through the charts in today's market action, a lot of traders weren't as fortunate. So I thought we did a very good job at adjusting to the market. And that's really what this game is all about. I wanted, though, to spend more time, frankly, on one particular trader in the current effort who, there are times when you do something like this, when you just but you see something and you sit back and you say, this is why I'm doing it. This is worth the effort. This is worth the time at this end. This is worth the planning that went into it. This is worth, putting up with people questioning your motives on doing this sort of thing. But when you see today, on the next to last day of the effort, just trading like a complete pro, and this is a trader who I have seen grown throughout the course of the 4 weeks. And we spend a lot of time during these efforts emphasizing things that I don't see discussed elsewhere, and frankly, a big part of that is adding to your position, when to add, how much to add, how quickly to add, and it is really an art. And this is a trader that really accepted that part of this training right from the get-go, and he jumped right into it. He was very aggressive with his ads, but he was adding inappropriately at first. He was adding when the market was really shifting from wholesale to more retail, and he was letting the trade run a little bit before he got his ad on. And in this market, typically, the market's not running a whole lot until before it gets to being retail. And so, worked with him early on, and so I've seen him tweak his trading, and as time has gone on, he's got better and better at it. And then today, to see him execute basically a sequence identically to what I was doing, except even better, was just a great feeling. And it was on the early afternoon move where we came back down through 40. Early afternoon, tested false breakout to the downside, put in a bear trap, bull cup, bull tail to the upside, and then to see him trade that, which was to buy. I think he bought 3 times. He bought, it went up a couple of ticks. He bought again, it went up a couple of ticks. He bought again, trying to push the action as a trader, a true trader does. And then as it started, getting to more of a retail position, he was bailing the position just so very appropriately. And for those that really are trying to kind of figure out what we do in these efforts, and what I'm trying to push, whether it's through the blog or whether it's through formal training efforts, it's this sort of thing. It is not, okay, you get in at this level and here's your stop and here's your expectation and you're going to risk 1 to make 3 and all that BS that you see throughout this industry. And that's what that is. It's total BS. This is a business of determining where the immediate bias is, coupled with a longer-term bias, and you aggressively push. You push the trade, you force people to get on the wrong side, and you take advantage of that move, and you very clearly identify the shift between wholesale and retail markets. And in a market which may be in a 5-point range or 4-point range, those trade sequences are so key. As I've told this individual before, and I've told others, when you do the math of adding to your position, and a lot of people still don't get this, because as I've said ad infinitum for the past several years, it's worsening your average cost. And that's what you want to do in this business. You want to worsen your average cost, because worsening your average cost, assuming you're right, and the bias is in your favor, you're adding incremental profit. And that's what's key, incremental profit. So, as a market is starting to turn up, and we're getting all our signals lining up and confirming, buy goes up, buy goes up, buy goes up, sell, sell, sell. Right? That's what this business is all about. And if you talk to any 7-figure trader, they'll tell you the exact same thing. All right. So, that is what we do in these training efforts. And I'll tell you, just, seeing someone watch me do that for 4 weeks nonstop, and then to see him do it today in the way that he did it was just outstanding. It was outstanding. And I honestly at that point just took just leaned back a little bit and smiled, and it's why we do this. And for those of you that are not in the live effort, all I can do is explain to you as I'm explaining it to you now. Certainly it's captured in the webinars, which is the weekly wraps of the 8 weeks from the first team. But if you're not a part of this effort or a part of those webinars, I'm just telling you right now, that's what this is about. That's what this business is about. It's determining bias moment by moment. It's having the confidence and the conviction to know that you're going to be right most of the time, and it's adding when something goes in your favor, as much as it is adding when it doesn't go in your favor, when you get price improvements, so long as your premise remains intact when you're scaling into a position. And again, I was so proud of this guy. His name's Albert, and I've seen him grow exponentially in these 4 weeks, and with 1 day left, it's just great. And that's, you know, just seeing that is worth all the hassle and the administration and the time and the energy and the BS that I put up with people that really don't understand what this is all about. You know, we had another trader that it's taken him a while. It's taken him almost the full 4 weeks to get it. And you know, the idea is to pound in and to reinforce and to be completely redundant, basically for 20 days until, you know, people are either really sick and tired of hearing it or they finally get it. And for some people, for whatever reason, it takes a little longer to get it. I get a little impatient, as this person knows, and I have, basically telling him that he's got to get it. He's got to get it. And the light bulbs, to see the light bulbs today and that effort go off. Again, two different traders, two unique traders, but you know, that's what this is about. Not everybody that goes through these efforts are successful. Obviously, this business has a failure rate which is between 70 and 90%, depending upon which study you use. So that's a 10 to 30% success rate. You know, if you can get to 50% success rate with a solid training effort, you know, you're basically doubling the industry results. I'm pretty confident that we've done better than that, based on feedback from the participants, based on feedback from their brokers. But again, it's not perfect. But I'll tell you, today it was really great to see. And I certainly, you know, wish everybody that attempts this business and everybody that's watching this video to sense the conviction of my voice and to sense the satisfaction and to sense really getting at what this business is all about. You know, you can throw yourself out there and risk 1 to make 3 and get caught up in the noise and get stopped out left and right when ES takes out the prior swing high or low by a tick or two before it turns and does its move, which it's been doing for the past 6 months. You know, or you can trade. You know, several times today. Actually, several times over the past 2 days, we waited for the market to take out the prior higher swing low, shake the trees, and then immediately after that, get into the trade. And again, you know, that's what this business is about. And again, Albert, hopefully you're watching this. Nice job. Kudos to you. For those of you that are watching that aren't a part of the effort or just hang out at this blog every now and then, please understand what I'm saying in terms of adding to your position during those times. And, you know, just make sure that you're doing it as close to wholesale levels as possible. So anyway, that's the thought I wanted to get out at the end of a great, rather tiring trading day. It's been a very good 4 weeks. I hate to say it, but I will, that every single day, every single session's been profitable. 16 traders in a team. It's just gone very, very well. And so I certainly will learn from what Albert did today, as I hope everybody else will today. So anyway, thoughts on a Thursday, tired at the end of the day. Have a great, great night, and stay out of trouble tomorrow, and have a great weekend. Take care.